Hey guys, it's Lisa from twocreatorwebsite.com. Today I want to talk to Google AdSense members who are just getting started. My last video, or video before last, where I talked about my record earnings with AdSense, that generated quite a buzz. So the last 3 weeks or so I've been getting quite a few emails from people concerned about their click-through rates, don't understand why they're not making X amount of dollars, and so I just thought I'd do a video to talk to the beginners. So if you're making money with AdSense, this is probably not going to be the video for you. I apologize for being a broken record, but apparently I have to be a broken record because when I look at the stats, when I see the emails and the blogs people are sending to me, it's like people are just not getting it. They are just not getting it. They're not taking AdSense seriously. They're treating it as if this is some, just, oh, I'll throw up some content, slap some ads on, and I'll make $100 a month. It's not like that. So that's why I want to do this video, and hopefully it will help you out. The first thing I want to talk about is the click-through ratio, the CTR, which is the percentage of people that click your ads. That's all that means. So if you've got 10 ad views and one person clicks, that's a 10% click-through ratio. Now, Google does not disclose what the average click-through ratio is because that would open up to fraud. They don't tell people like which, niches or niches, however you want to say it. They don't tell you which ones earn the most money because they don't want people just saying, oh, okay, finance makes more money than gaming. I'll just build a worthless site on finance and submit it. No, they don't disclose any of that information. But I would estimate, based on my own experience, that the average click-through ratio for most people is between 0.5% and 2%. It's very low, especially if you're in a niche that is targeted to people who are familiar with the ads, like myself, webmasters, or making money. These types of niches tend to have lower click-throughs because the people know, oh, okay, those are ads, so they kind of just block them out. So knowing that the click-throughs are very low, you have to understand why you have to have so much traffic in order to make decent amount of money. Because with that last video I did on my record earnings, some people were shocked because when I mentioned that my sites combined get like 20,000 visitors a day and I only made $6,000 for the month, they were like, what? You should be making so much more. Well, it's because the click-through rates are so low for my particular niche. So if you've got a blog and you get 10 visits a day, that's what, 300 visits a month? And let's give you the high end. Let's say 2% click on your ads. That's only going to be 6 people for the month to click your ads. And let's say you get 5 cents for all those clicks. That's 30 cents. 30 cents for the month. So are you starting to see now why, if you've got a low amount of traffic, you can't expect to make much with AdSense? And I'm going to say this, and a lot of you guys, it's not going to sit well with a lot of you, but I really believe that AdSense should set a limit or a requirement, a traffic requirement, and that they should not let you in until you have at least 150 visitors per day. 150. I think, because if you have anything below that, and of course there's always the exception, you're not going to make any worthwhile money anyway. So you might as well work on building up your content, building up your traffic, and then joining AdSense, because AdSense can actually be a distraction. Because I've seen it happen all the time. People, they get excited, oh, I got into AdSense, and then they put up the ads and they're like, I've had 1 click in 3 days. And so suddenly they're like distracted, so they go to AdSense and they get another ad unit and they put more ad units at the top and they change the ad colors. Suddenly content and promotion are now secondary to earning money. So the only thing they're focusing on is, okay, how do I get more clicks? Maybe I'll put an ad over here. Maybe I'll put a unit. No, your problem is not AdSense. Your problem is just the fact that you have not generated enough traffic to make any worthwhile money with AdSense. That's the main problem, okay? The other thing I want to talk about, which is not really directly related to AdSense, but it's the type of sites people create when they want to make money with AdSense, so I want to discuss that. The reporter blogs. And when I say a reporter blog, I mean blogs that just regurgitate common facts around the web. So Michael Vick got signed to the Eagles. I'm going to write a blog post about that. That's fine. However, if you're going to do that, you also have to add your own commentary, your own advice, or your own comments, your own feedback about what do you think about Michael Vick getting signed. What is this? Is it bad? Is it good? That's what develops interest with blogs. People want to know what your opinion is. If you've got something controversial to say about that, write that in. But just reporting facts that have already been reported on ESPN, CNN, that is not a good strategy, because you're not going to be able to steal their audience. They already have an audience that comes to their site every day, that reads their blog feeds every day. And if you're just copying or paraphrasing what they wrote and putting it on your blog, that's not providing value. No one is going to be interested in your blog, because they can just go to ESPN and CNN. Why would they go to a no-name blog that's basically just saying the same thing that's on the major sites? So if you're going to have a reporter blog, always make sure to add your own feedback, your own content. What do you think? What are your views? Do you have something funny to say about it? That's how you generate interest for your blog, and that's how you develop subscribers and long-term success, because people go, oh, he always has great things to say about what's going on in the world of football. Let me go and see what he has to say about what's going on in the news with football. That's the key. You've got to develop a niche. You've got to develop your own little space on the web in whatever niche that you choose. You can't just go regurgitate facts and expect to be as popular as ESPN.com. It doesn't work like that. The other problem I have, the other type of blog that I have that I've seen that I don't like in terms of making money with AdSense or affiliate programs, and that is the personal blog. And when I say personal blog, I'm talking about the blog where you just write about random things that are going on in your life. I'm going to be real blunt. Nobody cares. I know that sounds mean, but when you're a no-name person and you are just writing about random things in your life, nobody knows you, the average person is not going to care. Let's test this. What if I sent you a link right now and I said, hey, check out this girl's blog. And it's a blog of a teenage girl, 10 different blog posts about random things that she's doing in her life. None of them are related. The first post is about her going to walk her dog. The second post is about her going to Six Flags. The third post is about her starting school. The only people that are going to be interested in her blog are probably her friends and family. From a strategic money-making blog to make money with AdSense down the road, it's not a good strategy. Yes, she may get a couple trickles of traffic from Google if somebody happens to be searching walk my dog before school, and maybe her blog will show up in the search results, and maybe a couple people will visit per week. But are those people going to also be interested in the other things she just talked about on that blog? In other words, it's not focused. It's just a bunch of random articles about things she's doing. Unless you've already developed some type of notoriety, people aren't going to care about your personal life. Now, celebrities, they can get away with that. That's why people love to follow celebrities on Twitter or Facebook, because they're known for something. You see these celebrities in the movies. You see them on TV. So you've developed some type of curiosity about the celebrity. So you don't mind reading about their personal life. But for the rest of us, the no-name people, if we're just going to create a blog talking about us walking the dog, the average person is not going to care, and it's not a good strategy if you want to develop a readership and if you want to make money with AdSense down the line. It's just not a good strategy. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, there are some people that develop personal blogs that become very popular, and they're no-name people. And you're right, that's true. But most of the time, those people have to start with something. Either they started off by writing about one topic, maybe it's makeup, maybe it's sports. They started somewhere. Then once they got the traffic, once they developed the interest, then they branched off into doing more personal type blogging. Because once you develop an audience, your audience starts to become a little bit more interested in your personal life and things that are going on that are not necessarily related to what you became popular for. So you have a little bit more of leeway when it comes to writing about personal things. But you have to start somewhere, and that's why I think it's always better to start a blog if you want to make money, to start by doing a niche blog, a blog that's centered around a certain topic. Or the other exception is if you're just an incredibly funny person, or if you're a really good writer, or you have a topic and you just something really unique about the way you present your blog and you draw in that interest. Prime example, many of you guys may have heard of Fred on YouTube. Fred is this guy with this funny voice, and he can create videos on pretty much anything and it will get tons of views because he's got millions and millions of subscribers. And so, well, maybe not millions and millions, but at least maybe 2-3 million subscribers now. So Fred has something unique, his voice. He's got this very funny, high-pitched voice, and so that drew people in. So that was like his hook that got people interested. So he can make videos about anything crazy and people will want to watch. People will subscribe because of his voice. Now, I don't think he's all that funny, but apparently a lot of people do. So that's an example of somebody doing something very random but still getting the traffic and getting the interest because he's got that one hook. He's got that one thing that hooks people in, and it's his voice. So if you're going to do a personal blog, you have to have that one thing that draws people in. But personally, I am not a big fan of doing personal blogs for making money long term, especially for AdSense. It's just not a good strategy. Plus, when you're doing a personal blog, when you start displaying AdSense ads, your ads, you're going to have trouble getting targeted ads because your blog is on so many different topics. It's much easier if your blog is centered around one topic, then your ads will be more focused and so will your audience. So it's just better to keep it niche, in my opinion. The last thing, content, content, content. I know this sounds very cliche, guys, and I know you're tired of hearing about content because you're probably watching this now and you're saying, well, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm tired of hearing about content. I've got 50 pages of content on my blog and I'm still not making anything but 30 cents a week with AdSense. Well, my reply to that is all content is not created equal. There are blogs out there with 20 pages of content that are much more valuable than blogs that have 100 pages of content. Because just because you have hundreds of pages on your blog doesn't mean that those pages are worth reading. Doesn't mean that they're interesting. It doesn't mean that you have a fresh spin on your topic. It doesn't mean that you have something unique to say. Blogs that are interesting have something fresh to offer. They're different. They're unique. The content is written very well. It's organized. The paragraphs are broken up. There's a goal. Every post has a goal. When I created To Create a Website, both the blog and the site, my goal was to be that blog or that site that people go to when they want to learn how to build a website and make money online. So every post, every article that I write has a specific goal. I'm trying to teach somebody something. So when you're doing your blog, whether it's an entertainment blog, whether it's a tutorial blog, you should have the goal. Okay, this article is going to teach my audience how to do this, and I'm going to do it better than this blog did it over here. Every single post, every single article should have a goal. If you're writing content just to get to the 100 post limit and you think if you have 100 pages then surely you'll make more with AdSense, if that's your goal, that is not a strategy. You are wasting your time. You're just blogging for the sake of blogging, and eventually you're going to get bored and you're going to realize that this is not how you get traffic. There was a post in my forum about a week ago where someone mentioned what's the top, or it wasn't a week ago, it might have been like a month ago. What are the top ways you bring traffic to your site? And everybody started replying. Some people said YouTube, some people said Twitter, some people said MySpace. Somebody replied, and I thought it was very clever. They had 10 points, 1 through 10, and for all 10 points, they listed content, 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 content. Because you know what? I don't care how many YouTube videos you have. I don't care how many blog posts you have. I don't care how many tweets you tweet every day. If your stuff is not useful, if it's not interesting, if it's not worthy of reading, if people find it boring, if your writing is crappy, it doesn't matter how much content you have. You're not going to get AdSense clicks. You're not going to get traffic. You're not going to have success because your bottom line, which is the content, is not useful. It's not quality. And I know I'm always saying you got to have quality content, and it's become kind of like a cliche term when it comes to making money online. I know people are tired of hearing it, and quite frankly, I'm tired of saying it. But apparently people are not getting it, because week after week, month after month, I'm getting emails from people and they'll show me their blog and it'll be a post with like a paragraph that's like a foot long with no breaks, and the person is just babbling and babbling and babbling, and they're not saying anything, and it's nothing that the average person would want to read. So guys, it's about developing interest. You have to have a blog or a site that people would value, that people will find interesting. And that doesn't just mean paraphrasing what's on ESPN.com. It means putting it in your own words, that's fine, but also adding your own personality, your own character, your own unique voice, and putting a spin on what was reported, okay? That is the key, and that's the difference. And that's why so many people are struggling, because they're not producing anything of substance. And the last point I want to make, guys, it's about consistency. You can't just blog for 10 days straight and then just leave your blog alone for 2 months and expect to just start getting traffic. You have to blog consistently over time. Now, don't use me as an example. I only blog once a week, but I have a website that's very high trafficked, and I use that traffic to funnel traffic to my blog. So my traffic was around before my blog. And I'm not saying that's the way you have to do it, but I'm just saying, yes, my blog gets quite a bit of traffic and I have a good readership, even though I only blog once a week. But that's because I already had the traffic to my website. I already had traffic on YouTube and all these other things. I've been blogging for 3 years, but I really only started blogging consistently in January of 2008, so about 1.5 years now. And my readership, even though I only blog once a week, is still growing, because I try to focus on blogging about things that I feel people will be interested in, and I blog consistently. Even though it's once a week, it's still consistent. So a lot of you guys are sending emails and you're saying, well, I've got my blog up and I've got 10 posts, and I'll check, and the last time you've posted something was 3 weeks ago. If you're just getting started and a blog is all you have got to be writing every day, maybe multiple times a day. And don't just write for the sake of writing. You have to produce something of substance. If you don't have anything interesting to share, then don't blog. I'm not just saying just put up content for the sake of putting up content, but I'm talking about when you have something useful to share, and share often. And in the beginning stages, that will help build up your momentum, and you'll eventually start to get traffic. But if you just got 3 posts and it's been 4 weeks since you blogged and you're wondering why you don't have traffic, I have no words for you, other than you need to be more consistent with your blogging, especially in the beginning. So that's it for this video, guys. I really hope that if you're new to Google AdSense and you're a little frustrated with your click-throughs and your traffic, I really hope that this video has shed some light on the subject, and you understand that this is so much bigger than going to blogger.com, throwing up a 5-page blog and waiting for the money to roll in. This is a business of content, and it doesn't just stop after a month. You have to continue. You also have to continue promoting. I'll talk a lot about promotion in this video, because hopefully that's understood. But the reason why I focus so much on content is because I don't care how many tweets you have, how many videos you have. If your content is sucky, it's not going to matter. So you have to start with the content. That's your bottom line. That's your base. Do that, and then when you do put out videos, when you do get on Twitter, when you do create a Facebook fan page, you will get much more bang for your buck, because you have a good foundation, and that is your content. So take care, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.